Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shells, guys, slicers, peasants, vassals, minions. I'm a useful idiot. Welcome and good morning. Today I'd like to talk about Libya. And we now have a claimed presence of ISIS in Libya. And the reason why this is interesting is because, of course, there is not necessarily any huge transfer of presence of ISIS from Iraq and Syria into Libya. Rather, we have militias and jihadist groups and extremists who now, because of the notoriety and credibility they get, will now become affiliates of ISIS. And that's why this is an interesting development. We've seen this before. Al-Qaeda barely existed, and once the concept and the mythology was created, once Al-Qaeda began having a number of successes, of course, militant jihadist groups stretching from Southeast Asia to North Africa and all across the Middle East all of a sudden became Al-Qaeda affiliates. Like I say, it gave them credibility and notoriety, and we're going to see that same sort of development now. And we've seen a lot of different militant groups in both Syria and Iraq, of course, change their allegiances and become associated with ISIS and claim allegiance to ISIS. And we have elements across the Middle East, including Pakistan now, having some sort of claims of allegiance to ISIS. But in Libya, it's become interesting because we have some of these ISIS elements who are now having successes. This Libya Dawn, as a matter of fact, is part of this new wave of Islamists who are affiliating with ISIS and leaving the old Al-Qaeda brand behind. So that's interesting in itself that we have all these groups trading in their previous allegiances to Al-Qaeda because Al-Qaeda is old news and now they're associating with ISIS. But Libya Dawn, back in August of 2014, took control of the U.S. Embassy compound in Benghazi. So ironic development there. And so now technically several towns in Libya are under ISIS-affiliated groups. In fact, Libyan Prime Minister Abdullah Al-Thani, who basically is in charge of jack shit right now, claimed last week that groups loyal to ISIS, such as Libya Dawn, are in control of several towns, including Dema. And there's already reports of public executions. So it'll be interesting to see if we have successes of ISIS-affiliated groups in Libya, and then the mythology becomes a reality. Because if they do get a foothold there, then certainly we could see transfer of ISIS elements from Syria and Iraq to end up in Libya to get a foothold there. And we have a number of these militant groups who are claiming associations with ISIS, always with pretty interesting names. Ansar al-Sharia, Liqba bin Nafi Brigade, Uqba, the Islamic Caliphate in the Islamic Maghreb, Al-Umma Brigade, and Al-Batar. So there's several now militant groups who are just part of the jihadist Al-Qaeda axis previously, who are now associates and pledging allegiance to ISIS. And so I can't imagine at any point in the future Western powers, including NATO and the U.S., would get re-involved in Libya, but we definitely have an interesting dynamic there. A country that's completely descended into chaos since the NATO operation and now finds itself in utter chaos with its government basically being in charge of nothing, while the country itself is divided up between anti-jihadi former government forces under General Haftar, and then all these various 1,000 or 1,500 Islamic militias that are roaming the country, and of course another country that's completely awash in guns. So it's natural for ISIS to get their sights on Libya. So there we have it. We have so far a claimed presence of ISIS in Libya, and it will be interesting to see if they make a concerted effort to increase their presence there. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.